Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So yesterday I gave away one winner and one loser. So that brings the record of the free picks for the last what is that, 9 days or something like that, from 25 wins and 5 losses. So literally 20 more winners than losses on the free picks. I'm going to wait a couple of minutes. I'm going to go into this very strong detail of what I've done, something called a convergence tool. I think this is probably one of the best tools that I've created, and it's going to be super simple to look at. So I made it to the point where as soon as you see it, you'll see how clean and how simple it looks. But don't let the looks deceive you because it's a very strong tool. And let me get right into it. And then I'm going to give you guys one very strong play also. So it's actually two very strong teams in baseball, and I'm going to merge them together into a parlay. I'm going to explain that. I'm going to give you the slip, and then I'm also going to show you the three top pitchers for today in baseball. There's a lot of plays. I haven't even had time to get into the props yet. And I already have, what is this, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 8 different plays in the VIP already. So that's another side note. I'll leave that. If I remember to talk about it, I'll talk about it. If you have too many plays, you have to actually be careful because if it's a bad day, you lose half your bankroll. So that's bankroll management. And like I said, if I have time, I'll talk about that in addition to what I'm talking about. I still have the batter props to go through. Let me just show you what I'm looking at here. How did I get this late? But I'll start over. How I get this late, but I'll start over. Okay, I don't know what that means. So thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. I thought I was on my full screen here. I'm going to show you guys the tool. It's called the convergence tool. It's inside the Sharp Edge. You can try it out for free for 7 days. Okay, so it has a bunch of different tools in there. And like I said, I really like. I created it myself for myself, and if it saves me hours per day. So the first thing I like to look at, this is not the tool that I'm referring to. This is actually a good tool also, but I'm going to show you the convergence tool, which is right here, and that's going to be super clean when I get there. So the first thing right here you want to look at is the Chicago Cubs. You can see the little green. All you're really paying attention to is the little green box, and it tells you right here the Cubs. It started at a 109. It's going to a 112. If I click into that, you'll see it kind of gives you a graph of what's been happening since last night. And right here, it tells you the initial run was yesterday, and it's currently today, 8:53 a.m., which was the first run. Actually, it ran about 5 minutes ago. So this ran last night, and then it goes every hour since last night. Okay, so the Cubs did move 3 points. It's not a lot. The Tigers, you can see, move 2 points. It's not a lot. And what's weird is that it's not weird, but I was looking at the Tigers and I skipped it because they have Scuba, however the hell you pronounce his name, and he's one of the better pitchers. But the White Sox have been extremely hot, and the Tigers have very bad batting right now. So that's the reason I skipped it. Look at the Yankees; they went from 220 to 237, and it's currently going back up again. So it is a little bit of a risk because it moved a lot and then it came back. But one thing to know about baseball from doing this for many years is that once it hits right around 250-ish odds, the public starts saying, you know what, it's worth the risk, and they start pushing the money backwards. So that seems to be what's happening here in the Yankees game. But again, this is just the line movement. There's a lot of other stuff that goes into it. I'm going to skip through these. The Brewers is another one. You can see it started at a 142. It's currently at a 149. Then we got the Rangers. You got the Astros, which I'm not touching. And then these are just slight line moves. These are not a lot. And then what's the other one? The Dodgers. It went from 172 to 190. So again, the line has moved a lot in the Dodgers' favor. And also the Mariners is moving a little bit also. So right away, I can already start putting together some of the teams that are popping out. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions, guys. Also, if you're on X, go to YouTube and sign up there for free. The free picks is 25 wins, 5 losses in the last 8 games or eight days. So this is actually the tool. It took me a very, very long time to get this concept together. I used to do this manually, and it would take forever. But I dedicated probably, I would say at this point, is about 5 days now to get. So this looks super simple right here. Right now, it still looks kind of ugly. I didn't care about the design so much. I mean, I'm going to clean it up, obviously, but the design it was the least of my worries. I just wanted this to show me the plays. Okay, so let me show you what this means first, but don't take this for granted. This is a lot of information into one page. Okay, so let me kind of go here. Hold on. Let me go in here. Let me go to share screen. Give me 1 second here. Share the screen. I'm going to show my entire screen on my other screen. So this is the information that I have, and it's basically the entire Sharp Edge system that has all these pages and all these tools, and it has all this information. I'm not going to go bore you with the details, but let me just give you one example. This is literally every single pitcher in today's slate. So there's 27 pitchers, and it's literally breaking down every single metric you can think of: the win-loss ratio, the ERA, the FIP, the ERA versus FIP, the WHIP, the strikeouts per 9 innings, the base on balls, the home runs, the innings pitched, and then it gives you a breakdown if it's elite, ace, elite, all that stuff. You don't need to care about, you don't need to worry about all this. I'm just kind of giving you a simple insight of what this tool is actually looking at. It's not just throwing some random shit out there. Okay, this is a lot of information here. So that's what it looks like. That's the breakdown. It's literally breaking down hold on 1 second. Why is this not stop screen? Let me go back to the tool now. So I wanted to kind of give you a breakdown just so you don't think it's just some simple crap. This is literally a lot of information into one simple snapshot. So this is what it looks like. So you come in here and it breaks down. This is what I use every single day, but I was not doing it where it's on one page. Now it's literally on one page. So right here, what it's doing, let me just give you an example. So the Yankees is highlighted right here, okay? And what this is telling you is that the line moved, and I showed you the line moved 23 cents on New York. So that's why it started over here with New York. Then the win probability, there's a 73% chance that New York wins. The deep research didn't come up with New York. There's actually not enough information as of this screenshot. So that's why that's left blank. The expert insights say 66% chance that New York is going to take this. OPS means on-base percentage. You can see New York is number 2, and Cincinnati is number 20. And then over here it says projected runs, and it does say New York is favored to get 5.5 runs on the under. However, Cincinnati is favored to go 3.5 runs on the under. So this is based on the sports book. And the sports book is literally telling you that the Yankees are supposed to score 6 runs and Cincinnati is supposed to score 4 runs. So that's the reason this is highlighted green on New York. So right away, New York stands out to me just by looking at this one simple screenshot. There's no other thinking involved. It's that simple. 5 out of the 6 things are aligned, 0 opposed, and there's 1 no read, which is this one. Okay, let me go to the next one. The Dodgers. It moved 11 cents in the Dodgers' favor, 72% win probability. Deep research says doesn't have anything. Expert Insights doesn't have anything. OPS, they're top 10. Baltimore is 26, which is bottom 5. And then again, look at the Dodgers are supposed to win, or I'm sorry, supposed to score 5.5 runs on the under, and Baltimore's supposed to score 3.5 runs on the over. So basically, long story short, is that it's saying that the Dodgers are going to score 6 runs, between 5 and 6 runs, and Baltimore, or I shouldn't say that. It's worded a little different. What it's saying is that it's projected that they're going to hit 6 runs or less. Okay, Baltimore is projected to hit 4 runs or less. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. The Cubs, there's other now. Let me be very clear here. This is not the end all be all information. This is not the end all be all information. You still have to go look at the pitching stuff, the batting stuff, all this other extra stuff. But this gives you a clear picture on what you should be looking at. What does this say? Whoever reads this chat, what's he got so far? Okay. I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going with. I'm giving you a breakdown of this tool. I promised yesterday on yesterday's video that I was going to break down this tool. That's the reason I'm doing it. It took me a very long time to get to this point, and it's very clear. So right here, Chicago, there's 4 out of 5 things that are aligned. I'm sorry, 4 out of 6. The Brewers, you can see, is pretty much a perfect score right here. The Pirates, 3 out of 6, and the Mariners. Okay. It doesn't show every single game. It only shows the ones that have the line movement from the other tool. So it starts from if there's a line movement, and then it starts breaking down the games. Okay. So anyways, the games that I'm looking at is the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Brewers, the Pirates, and the Mariners. Now, once you have that breakdown of the games you want to start looking at, then you obviously want to start going into today's games. And then you want to look at the projections. So again, it was the Cubs. You see, they're supposed to score 4 over 3. The Tigers, 4 out of 3. The Yankees, 4.5 over 3.5. What else? The Pirates, 6 out to 5. The Dodgers, 5.5, like I said, to 3.5. And then the Mariners are flat. So right away, I can start already just saying, hey, I don't like this one. I like that one, and so on. Okay. So right away, within 5 minutes, the only reason it's taking me a little bit longer is because I'm actually explaining this stuff. But of you getting this tool and coming here and looking at this for 5 minutes, you'll know exactly which ones you should be looking at, which ones you should be staying away from, which ones you should invest your time into looking into, and so on. Okay. What I did is I created this tool so that you can come in here, and it saves you so much. I mean, so much fucking time. That was the main point of creating this. But now let me get into the details now, and I'm going to give you guys a play for sticking around. All right. So let me come in here. I already opened up these in different tabs. Give me a second here. All right. So the first one I'm looking at is, what's up, Monsi? Good morning. I joined at the end of the year. I joined the end of the year package 2 weeks ago, and I already made my money back. Hell yeah, bro. That's what's up. All right. So look at this. The Yankees. So now, like I said, I already have a list of teams that I want to look at. I already did the research, just so you know. So I'm going to come in here and give you guys the play. I'm going to break down the teams of how I break it down. But basically, this is the exact same setup as the other screen. So the other screen is a snapshot. This is the breakdown. I hope that makes sense. If not, ask me. So basically, the teams I'm looking at is the Yankees, the Pirates, the Dodgers, the Brewers. And then that's about it. The other teams that came up that I haven't looked at is the Diamondbacks and the Cardinals. But I think I'm going to skip that because, like I said, there's a bunch of other stuff going on. And I already have 8 plays, which to me is kind of getting towards my limit. All right. I've been using this tool for a while. If you're on the fence, just get it. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate that. The over-under. Julio, you always do this, man. You always come in here and ask some random stuff. I'm in the middle of talking about something else. I appreciate you being here, but just kind of go with the flow right here. My go-to tool. Cool, man. All right, so here we go. Yankees, you can see the projected score 4.5 versus 3.5. What happens here is the sharp edge verdict. It says analysis processing. So what happens later in the day, it goes through all this information that I just showed you, and it actually gives you a verdict if there's a verdict, and it'll say, hey, this game is pointing towards in this direction. You should take a look at this direction, and that kind of gives you a verdict. But again, if it says analysis processing, usually that means that the information is still working in the background. Okay, like I mentioned, New York opened at a 224. It went to a 223. You can see the public is all over this thing. It's 91% of the bets, 90% of the money, 73% of the win probability. If you start paying attention now, you can literally see that it's exactly what I'm talking about over here. So it's breaking it down step by step. Exactly what's here is actually over here. I hope you're starting to see what I'm talking about now. The expert insights, 66%, 24 at home. So they've won 16 out of the last 24 games. We start looking at the pitcher analysis. So one other side note is that I'm going to add the bullpen analysis and the pitching analysis, because in baseball, the pitching is one of the best indicators if the team should win or not. So that's going to go in here, and it's going to be the bullpen and the pitching. I'm still working on that, but that's going to come in here, and it's going to be 8 different sources instead of 6. All right, so let's get back in here. Starting pitcher Cam Schlittler, 2.74 compared to a 7. This is a big mismatch on pitching. Look at this B grade versus a C grade. You got the bullpen is much better overall on the Yankee side. All the batting is better on the Yankee side. You can see they're number 2 on OPS, meaning on-base percentage. The Yankees is number 2. Compare that to the number 20 for the Reds. This is a complete mismatch game, okay? A+ grade versus C- grade. And then, like I mentioned on the other screen, they're supposed to go under 5.5 runs, but then you compare that to Cincinnati, is supposed to go under 3.5 runs. So I'm taking the Yankees. I'm going to give you the exact play that I'm taking. So hold on, okay? The Yankees is pretty expensive. The Dodgers is also pretty expensive. Liameta says, "You're my goat. I've been a heater because of you and the sharp edge." Cool, man. Appreciate that. What's up? Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you all. If you're on X, go to YouTube, go to B Sports Picks, and then also go to bsportspicks.com and sign up for the free picks. And if you want this tool, the Sharp Edge, you're going to get access to the Discord for 7 days for free also. All right. Milwaukee's actually very good too today. They burned us yesterday. The 2 losses that I had 7 wins and, well, VIP had 7 wins and 2 losses yesterday. And both of those losses were because of the Brewers. I had the Brewers on a money line. Then I also had the Brewers on a parlay. So that's the max that I'll do is one team on 2 leg, or 1 team on 2 parlays, and the Brewers burned me for both. So anyway, today should be a little bit different. They got the opening line is kind of stuck right there, 73%. Win probability 64%. Money line is 77% in the last 9 games as a favorite. This guy's one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. I think it's called Mizorowski. I think that's how you pronounce that. This guy is one of the best pitchers in baseball. You can see every time he starts, they win. B- grade versus an A grade. So this guy's no bum either. And then the bullpen is better for Atlanta. You got to be careful with that. And then the one thing that Atlanta is struggling with is, I don't know if this dude is still injured, but when I went to the White Sox game like 2 weeks ago, and Acuna Jr. sprained his ankle. So I don't know if that's what's been affecting them or not. They were actually on a very hot streak, and then this dude got injured, and then they went downhill. And you can see in the last 7 days, they're one of the worst teams to get on base. So again, I don't know if that's because of this dude's injury or whatever, but Milwaukee's better. 64% chance. So if you guys want to take a look at Milwaukee, it's very good also. They lead in 9 out of the 11 categories. Before I continue, guys, let me show you this, because I was going to show you this first, actually. So in the free picks, I said 25, but it's 23. I wrote it down here, 23 and 5 run in the last 8 days. Yesterday, I gave away the Twins. I said to go within the first 5 innings. They were up 6-0 in the first 5 innings. And that one extremely easy. These guys ended up scoring 3, but that was after the 6th inning. Okay, so the first 5 innings, I told you to go with it. They went 6-0. And then I actually took it on the money line also. And then I did say go with the Brewers, just like I mentioned. They ended up losing to the Guardians, which was ridiculous to me, but it is what it is. I had 2-leg parlay right here with under stolen bases. I had another 2-leg parlay with under stolen bases. They both hit. I had an under RBIs. This guy got canceled. This guy hit. What is the other one? This guy for under RBIs also. The Twins, that's when I said I went with the money line. The first 5 innings, I went with the Twins. And then the Brewers and the Guardians not to score a run in the first inning. So 7-2 day in the VIP, 1-1 on the free picks. Now I'm going to start doing this as a side note. This is just going to be a very little side note. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that. All right. So right here, this is going to be what's called a mismatch of pitchers. Okay. So on the side, if you're not looking at anything else, if you want to go to sign up on YouTube, on X and IG, and also on Reddit, these posters are going to be posted every single day. So it's literally looking at the best pitchers versus the worst pitchers, or maybe not like that, but it's considered a mismatch. Okay. And that's the reason that this is showing right here. And I just explained this one. The Mrzwolski is one of the better pitchers versus Perez. And it gives you the full breakdown on why one pitcher is much better than the other. Same thing with Skubal over here. Same thing with Schlittler. I already talked about this one. But that's going to be inside the YouTube channel if you want to subscribe to get these posters. The other little side note I'll talk about is this one. I was doing this for points, rebounds, and assists. And now I'm going to be doing it for one hits. I've been giving this one away for about 4 days now, and this guy has been on fire, getting hits. He's on a 22-game win streak, getting hits. I'm not going to go into the rest of these details, but these are the posters I'm going to be posting inside of YouTube also. So if you guys want to check that out, sign up for YouTube, subscribe, and you'll be getting the poster here for the one hits on the players that are extremely hot. And then you want to make sure on getting hits, and you want to make sure that you want to do your own research on that, and also for the breakdown for the pitchers. All right, last thing I'll talk about is going to be, well, two things I'll talk about is the Pittsburgh Pirates. This is going to be another mismatch. The one thing I don't like about the Pirates is their batting. And let me go into this screen here. So the Pirates are 6. They're projected to go 6 compared to 5. Now they're back at home over here, Colorado, so everything is inflated. And they're actually a lot better at home, which Colorado is. So just be careful with this one. I don't think I've taken this one. Win probability 57%. And starting pitcher, they got Chandler over here. Better. This guy, what we're doing in this one is we're looking at fading Freeland. Freeland is one of the worst pitchers right now. And you can see every time he starts, he pretty much loses. He's got one of the worst ERA records. And the bullpen is better for the Pirates. Batting is better. The only thing I will tell you now is, I've mentioned this in a different video, is the on-base percentage for the Colorado Rockies. It shows that they're number 1, or they're tied for number 1, I should say. The issue is that they've been playing at home a lot lately, and then they went somewhere and they came back. So in the last 7 days or so, they've been playing at home, or I shouldn't say that. They were playing at home, so they inflated the numbers. Now they're back at home, and that inflates their numbers. So this is a little bit deceiving here. So just be careful with that. Pitching analysis is better for Pirates. And then this one is what's crazy too, is that they're projected to go 7 runs or under 6, and this one's projected to go over 5. So I do like Pittsburgh there, if you guys want to look at that. And then the last team I'll talk about, and then I'll give you the slip. I know I've been going on for a little bit. Here we go. So the Dodgers, this is a huge mismatch game as well, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I'm playing it. So we got the projected score is Dodgers 5 compared to Orioles 3.5. And then you got the Dodgers line moved 172 to 182. 93%, 95% of the money. So 93% of the bets, 95% of the money is all coming in on the Dodgers. Sasaki 4.76 compared to a 5.1. This guy, they've been losing. These guys have been a lot better. Bullpen is better. Overall batting is better. The Dodgers, you can see they're top 10 compared to bottom 5 for Baltimore. Pitching analysis is better. Win probability is 72%. And then they're supposed to score between 5 or over, I should say, under 6 runs compared to over 4 runs. And then they lead in every category except 1. Okay, so Dodgers are going to be dominating, and so are the, what do you call it? Let me go right back to this, and then I'll explain what the hell I was just saying. Give me a second. So if you want the free picks, go right there. B Sports Picks, links in the description. Check us out for the VIPs. On the Sharp Edge tool that I've been talking about right here, you get 7 days for free on that. Plus, you get the Discord. All right. So on the conversions tool, last thing I'll say is you can see the Yankees is 5 out of 6 things aligned with them, and the Dodgers 4 out of 6 things aligned with them. Let me go back in here now and give you the play. So here's how I'm playing this. I'm taking the Dodgers. I'm buying it back at a plus 1.5, and I'm taking the Yankees on the money line. So what I used to do is I used to kind of try to force a guaranteed play, and I would still lose sometimes. So there is no guarantees in sports betting. So what I would have done in the past is I would have got the Yankees at a plus 1.5, meaning they could lose by 1, and they'll still win the bet. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to pay for the extra odds, because the odds would have been 185 if I would have taken this one at the plus 1.5. If you don't mind paying the juice, then you can do that. But what I'm learning more and more is that obviously the better the odds, the more money you can make, and the easier it is to become profitable. So that's the reason I'm taking the weaker team on the Dodgers for today compared to the Yankees versus the Reds. I already showed you all the analysis on why I think the Yankees are going to win. I've already showed you the pitching is an extreme mismatch. I'm not going to repeat everything, but that's the reason I took them at the money line, and I also took the Dodgers at a plus 1.5. New York Yankees paired with Goldschmidt. Let me run something, guys, so you can see what the hell, like what kind of system I have. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can run it. If you guys give me a second. I was not planning on doing this, but I'll do it right now. Give me a second. I'll show you what this looks like. I have this thing called a one-hit board, and this is crazy. Let me run it. Give me a second. Let me actually show you what this looks like. So I run this in the morning. Let me see if I can show you guys this. I was not planning on showing you this, so let me show the window. All right, give me a second. Let this run for a little bit. It's loading up right now, but what it is, it's an AI agent, and it runs through a bunch of APIs and a bunch of tools, and it's filtering out a bunch of stuff. And when it comes back, I just want it to run for a little bit so I don't kind of give away my secrets. But once it runs through everything in the morning, it goes through and it pulls a bunch of information. This is what I used to do. Oh, I can't show you that. Let me see if I can. Give me a second. While that's running, I'm going to show you this spreadsheet of what I used to do. And I actually still verify it with what I used to do. And then now I have the AI agent that goes out and runs this stuff for me. But this is what I used to do. Let's see. You would literally go out and scrape props cache, and it would kind of go and say, hey, these are the best players at 90% hit rates and stuff like that. And it'll give me a list of players. Then from here, I would open it up on Outlier, and then I would do my own research. I've showed you this in different videos, and it was a whole manual process. It would pull all this information. It would kind of go back and forth, and then I would have to look at every single player, and then I would take the screenshots. I've actually shown this in a lot of different videos, so I'm not going to go deeper into that. But now the AI agent kind of does everything for me, and then I just have to verify it. So give me a second. It's loading up right now. I want to show you what it looks like, and then I'm going to actually post that as props inside of the Sharp Edge as well. All right, now it's going. So this is what it looks like. So right here you can see it went through and ran a bunch of code, and then it came back. This isn't, again, I'm not going to go through all the details, but it goes out into the APIs for MLB, for Fantasy Alarm, for StatMuse. It runs and it does all these different things, and then it filters everything out, and it comes back. And you can see how quick that was. And it comes back and it says, hey, these are the people you should be looking at. This one is strong. Alec Burleson, Bobby Witt Jr., Freddie Freeman, Brian Reynolds, Ketel Marte. And then to get on base, so what is this? To be on base, Freddie Freeman, Jensen, Burleson, and Dinger. So anyways, what I'm trying to show here is that it gives you all the signals, the edge probability, the projections, the last 10 games. So I've been hitting a lot with these, and what I've been doing, because they're so expensive, is that I'll parlay them together. But once I have this information, I actually cross-reference that. Give me a second here. I cross-reference that with my old sheet, which is the one I just showed you. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. I'm not going to get into too much more detail. I was not planning on showing that at all. But so basically this one, it looks very basic, but it filters out 100 plus players. And it says which one of these 100 plus players have a 80% hit rate minimum at getting at least one hit, and they fall under certain odds and things like that. Once I have that, then I used to open these up inside of Outlier, which I'm not going to do right now. I've done it in other videos. And inside of Outlier, it gives the breakdown of every single player, and it gives you the screenshots and stuff like that. From there, once I have all these players, now I just simply cross-reference, and you can see somebody mentioned here, Goldschmidt, and you can see the top guy that it's showing right here. I mean, it's not the top guy, but he's in there. It's Paul Goldschmidt. So you're right on point right there. That's something to look at for sure. And the rest of these players, look at the Zach. So this just starts lining up. Look at the Zach Geloff over here. That's the same dude I just mentioned over here. I'll show you one last thing, guys. Give me a second here. So basically in sports betting, once everything starts lining up, that's when you place the bet. So give me a second. Let me go back in here. The Zach Geloff right here. I think that's how you pronounce that name. That's the one I just showed you on my sheet. So Zach Geloff, Nick Kurtz is on the sheet. Alvarez, Paul Goldschmidt. Who else? That's about it. I can't see anybody else. So I'll just give you the names. Paul Goldschmidt, Zach Geloff, Nick Kurtz, Jordan Alvarez, Shea Langiers, Alec Burleson, Jacob Williamson, Jackson Chiriot, Ketel Marte, Jake McCarthy, Freddie Freeman, Corbin Carroll, Gabriel Moreno, Vaughn Grissom, Jake Magnum. I'm still going to, like I said, I still have to filter those out, but that's kind of what it looks like. All right, guys, I hope that makes sense, man. I gave you guys a lot of value. I do not expect to give that much information, but that's the kind of information I have to filter out every day. And if it wasn't for this tool, it used to take me a shitload of hours, man. I'll tell you that. Besides that, I do have the NRFI report. I had actually 3 different plays from NRFI. I did add a bunch of stuff in here. I added the top of the lineup. I'm not going to get into the details here, but right away I could tell you stay away from this one because all this red up here, he's only started 4 games and he's been rocked two of those games. His FIP is very low. Sasaki. So on this occasion, when you want to see something like this, you might want to look on the over. I'm not telling you to go look at the over, but you have the information here on this tool to give you a strong decision on what to look at. So let me give you another example. Ranger Suarez, he's been 4 hits in 4 games in a row. Bryce Miller, he's gone like 7 games in a row. This is the no-run first inning board. Now you can see all this green over here. 132 games that he started, 76% of those, they don't get it. 79 games that this dude has started, they don't get 82% of the time they don't get it. So this dude's on fire. This dude's on fire. And then you can see one of the things I don't like from this one is that it's saying Boston is ranked #1 to get runs in the first inning. So you want to start looking. That's why I added the top 3 players. You can see the top 3 players versus this pitcher. So plate appearances versus the starter, batting average versus the starter, and the OPS. You can see how strong Abreu is and Rafaela against this starter, Ranger Suarez. So what I used to see without this top of the lineup, I would be like, man, this looks super strong. But now that I have the top of the lineup, it's like, wait a minute. I might want to stay away from this one because they're ranked number 1, and this dude has been rocking the shit out of them. Two at bats, and then he's got 2 hits, and then this guy has been 5 at bats. He's got about 3 hits. So Alec held me a no hitter last night. Cool. All right, guys. So I hope that made sense, man. I hope that makes sense, guys. If you really do appreciate this, please leave a comment. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. I gave you guys a lot of extra value that I was not thinking of doing today. I have about 8 different plays in the VIP. So if you want to check those out, go to the link in the description and click on VIP. And then I still have to go through the batter props that I just showed you. So I'm going to go and look at that. I'm probably going to have maybe 2 or 3 more plays, maybe. I'm going to look at the under RBIs. Let me see what else I got to go through. So I'm going to go through the under RBIs, the 1 hits, the stolen bases, and that's about it. Then I'll be done for the day. All right, guys, if you really do appreciate this stuff, and we have 23 winners, 5 losers in the last 8 days, make sure to subscribe. Thank you guys so much. Let's have a great day. If you're on X, go to YouTube and go to Beast Sports Picks.